Greetings and salutations, YouTube. Casual Flagger here, back for episode number 5 of our Chicago Bears franchise. In the last episode, we blew out the Browns and made Baker Mayfield look a lot like Nathan Peterman. So we picked him off 7 times, and yeah. At the end of the episode, we also learned that Khalil Mack is contemplating retirement, which that kind of sucks. So we don't have any pressure. So what we're gonna do is play these next 2 games. Not today. We're gonna just play the Lions today, and then in the next episode we'll play the Raiders. And if they're both wins, I think we'll be fine. I just if he's gonna retire, I want to trade him away before he does that. That way I can get value out of him. Because the problem right now is that if we trade him, we're not going to get a good pass rusher back. Okay, yeah, they can afford him. They do want him. So I don't know if this trade is worth doing right now. Getting those picks would guarantee pretty much that we could fill some positions of need. Wait, didn't we? Yeah, I had you on my board. But our needs at that point almost basically turn exclusively to pass rush help because we're going to want to get rid of Robert Quinn too as soon as he's healthy. Let's go look at outside linebackers. Nobody good. So we need guys that rush the passer. Not Matt Milano. Bradley Chubb would be a guy that we could bring in. We'd have to make the trade for him. And he's also a free agent after this season. They don't have anybody. They have Shaq Barrett, but he's 28, so he's not the ideal age. Chandler Jones is also a little old for our purposes. What position do they have? Oh, he must be hurt. I was going to say, I didn't know what position they had. Uchenna Nwosu is a guy that we could possibly bring in. Well, they have Joey Bosa listed as a defensive end, or as an outside linebacker. It's interesting. He must have switched defenses. Yeah, the Chiefs don't have anybody. The Cowboys don't. I guess Jalen Phillips is a Nope, he's hurt. That's what he is. No, that's him right there. We know they don't have anybody. Zijo Jalare is a guy that got. He's a later round pick, but he just had a bunch of sacks on Thursday Night Football. What is Lorenzo Carter's dev? He's a normal. Mm-hmm. I don't really have anybody. I'm just trying to look at guys on some of these teams that I might can get that would provide pass rush help. I mean, there are guys. It's just like, could we actually get them without giving up all the picks that we got trading Mac away? Friggin' Logan Wilson, best player in the game. Gregory Rousseau would be an interesting. He's only got normal dev, but why though? He was a first round pick. Epinesa has star development. How are you built? 6'5", 265? That's probably a teensy bit too big for a linebacker. Yeah. Well, maybe not in our defense. I apologize for the beginning of this episode, but I'm trying to. We're not going to worry about it right now. We know we've got at least one game where we're good to go. We're going to defend the inside run against DeAndre Swift. He's definitely, well, TJ Hawkinson is their best offensive player, but and then we're going to want to run inside. maybe I can trade Andy Dalton. Assign a backup quarterback that I actually like. And trade Dalton for pass rush help. Because honestly, if these are not good options here, but let's just see if anyone has any interest in a Andy Dalton type player. I have orange level interest in him. Who is y'all's backup quarterback? Right now it's Daniel Jones because they have Cam Newton. Okay, we all do Andy Dalton for Azeez Ojulari. This isn't even a realistic trade because they have two quarterbacks that are, I think, better starters than him, but Andy Dalton, Danny Trevathan. Nope. Okay. Okay, so this is possible. We just have to sweeten the pot a little bit. We'll give him a 5th and a 6th in next year's class. Okay, so that's not going to cut it. Okay, so again, I apologize for this taking so long, but I'm trying to make moves that I think will benefit the team, and that is one. Bringing in Azeez Ojulari, and now we are going to try and get PJ Walker. I wonder if they would trade him for like Christian Jones. He's still 8 overall points better than what? Okay. Quarterbacks just have really high value. That's what it comes down to. A 6th and a 7th doesn't get it done. Okay. I think that's worse. That is worse. They just really don't want Christian Jones. Well, fun fact, I don't want to give up this many picks. Hmm. Okay. I don't mind giving up the 5th for Tyler Huntley because he's kind of young. And he's actually Lamar Jackson's backup. So we're going to go ahead and cut Jeremiah Adechow. And then we are going to adjust the starting lineup to reflect our recent trade. So Ojulari will start there. I'm not too worried about all those picks we gave up because we're going to try and trade some of these other guys too. Like I'll probably trade Robert Quinn now that I have Ojulari, even though he's not the best pass rusher in the world. Okay. Now then. Now let's take on the Lions. They are not a good team, although they are somehow 2-1. Guys on offense to watch out for are basically just DeAndre Swift and TJ Hawkinson. I got Jared Goff back there at quarterback, former number 1 overall pick. It's not often that a team goes from, having the 2 quarterbacks taking it number 1 overall back to back. But the Lions did it, and David Montgomery gets a big gain to start off, 29 yards. But yeah, the Lions did it, and they have only had the number 1 pick that year they took Stafford. Okay, good. He actually turned around and caught it. That was honestly a bad throw by Fields. He's so fast back there. I'm very surprised I was able to get away from that, but we're going to get held to a field goal here as we knock it in. 3-0 lead. So ended last episode with a trade to bring in defensive tackle help. Start this episode off with a trade to hopefully bring in some help with the pass rush as well in the form of Aziz Ojulari. At the very least, he gives us a Dante Pettis, okay? At the very least, he gives us a potential linebacker of the future. Because we were going to have to look at that position in the draft anyway. Dante Pettis again, gosh. And I don't want to make a ton of trades in this. I just needed to. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Probably the last trade. I say that I don't know. I'll say now I will probably trade Robert Quinn away before. No, I'll wait till the offseason and then I'll trade Robert Quinn. And then, so with that in mind, probably the last trade I make this season is going to be Khalil Mack if I end up trading him. And I don't know if I will or not. Because the problem is, I can't even see if, like, I can't see if Philadelphia would do the trade or not without, sending it through. As the Lions miss a field goal here. So we'll get the ball back. Semi-productive defensive drive. We let them drive a little bit on us, but just because of the way Madden works, I'm not going to be able to tell if Philadelphia would actually even accept the trade for the 3 first-round picks or not. Now, realistically, do I think that Khalil Mack is worth 3 first-round picks? On a contending team, yes. If all you needed was Allen Robinson finally gets a catch, and it's a big one. 47 yards. Nope, not quite. 44 yards. But if you were a contending team and all you needed was a pass rusher, then I could see you justifying sending 3 first-round picks to Chicago for Khalil Mack. I mean, he got traded for 2 the first time. I know he's older now, so it's a little bit different, but besides finding a good offensive tackle, the entire focus of my offseason is going to pretty much be finding pass rush. I'm good at defensive tackle now. Settle, we'll keep around. As he nearly picks up a sack there. Mack is in coverage on that play for some reason. Ojulari gets the tackle there. And Ojulari gets the sack. Already paying dividends. 14 yards on the sack. The Lions are going to be backed up big time now. Roquan Smith with the tackle. And it honestly might be worthwhile just trading Khalil Mack to make the defense younger. So you look at our corners, they're all guys in their second year. Roquan Smith is only 24, I think. We've got Ojulari, who's a rookie now. Our defensive line is pretty young with Settle and Goldman and Bilal Nichols. And Keem Hicks is going to be gone after this year, but and Justin Fields just overthrows Darnell Mooney there. He was wide open, but just couldn't get it done. Marquise Goodwin makes the sideline catch for 8 yards. Yep. He made contact with him after he slid. Give me my yards. This is definitely a game we should be able to pass in. Holding, block in the back. Which one? Holding. Okay. So, all that yardage wasted. Gets all of the yardage back and picks up the first down, tiptoeing along the sidelines. That was a great run. Great run. That, however, was not good. Detroit already with 2 sacks. We'll monitor Max production in these few games too. Nice throw. That was more on me. That could have been a touchdown, but I threw it too far to the right. I didn't think Mooney was going to have as much separation as he did. Fields, what are you doing? Oh my God. I was trying to throw it away so that I didn't take the sack. Not only does he not throw it away, he fumbles it. First and 10 here for Detroit. Stop him there. His whole commitment to stopping the run is really paying off. DeAndre Swift hasn't done much. Jerathan is getting a ton of tackles. The game has gone by really fast. Dante Pettis is continuing to kill us. Jared Goff is going to play infinitely better than Baker Mayfield did, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but here we are in this universe. And they are a yard away from scoring now because our defense apparently used all of their effort in the Browns game. Why is DeAndre Houston Carson in? I don't know. DeAndre Swift gets the touchdown. And with 23 seconds left, we don't really have time to do anything, so I'll probably run the ball a couple times. Get David Montgomery some momentum going into half, and we'll just take the lead, what it is. Should have had another touchdown, but Justin Fields can't hold on to the ball. He's had a really good game otherwise, but I also think Detroit plays a little better in sim than they should, as they should drastically be the worst team, at least in Madden purposes. Now, in the actual NFL, I don't know. The Jets, I think, are still really bad. The Jaguars are obviously still really bad. Houston is going to show that they're really bad still as well. They just aren't going to play Jacksonville every week. They do have one more against Jacksonville, so maybe we can chalk up 2 wins for them. I mean, Houston is winning their division. But at least with the Lions, you understand where their direction is and why they're bad. They are clearly in a rebuild. They just got rid of the best quarterback in franchise history. They traded him for 2 first-round picks, one this year, one next year. You know, if they took an offensive lineman in this draft, they've got their offensive line built up. They've got a pretty good running back. In this draft, if they got 2 first-round picks, if they have a high one and there's a quarterback they like, okay, take him. If not, wait till next year. You've still got Jared Goff. Best case scenario, Jared Goff comes out and looks elite. I don't see that happening because I've never thought Jared Goff was elite, but and then if he looks elite, well, guess what? You have your quarterback already. And you can use your first round picks on wide receivers or defensive backs. Although they took a Jeff Okudah last year, and I don't know how well that's working out for him. Honestly, the corners taken after the first round were way better than any of the ones taken in the first round. C.J. Henderson couldn't stay on the field. I don't know what the deal was with Jeff Gladney since he got cut, and then Okudah can't stay on the field either. And in fact, I think he's hurt right now. And I think when he wasn't there, he struggled. But then you had guys like Jalen Johnson was good. L'Jarius Sneed was good. Trying to think of some other young corners. Trevon Diggs played pretty well for the Cowboys. They were all rookies last year. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there were any more first round corners. I don't think there were. I think it was just 3. Oh, Damon Arnett and Noah Igbenogany. Oh, they all got outplayed by the later round guys too. Of course, in all fairness to Damon Arnett, he was not ever supposed to be a first round pick. That was just the Raiders being the Raiders. So I don't know. The Lions definitely have a plan. I just hope, for their sake and the sake of their fans, that they can they execute on it well and can find a quarterback. As Dante Pettis again gets wide open, makes the catch, and gets the touchdown. So now we're down 13-10, as the Lions have used up over half of the third quarter and went 82 yards. So. And they were stuck in kind of a treadmill of mediocrity with Stafford. They were never going to finish, as long as Stafford was healthy, they were never going to finish bad enough to get, a top quarterback. Because he was always good to get him, 5 or 6 wins, honestly, almost on his own. Oh, Justin Fields. Look at him go. I really thought that might be a touch. Oh, look at him style it out there. I need you to not do cartwheels out there, though, because you're going to get hurt. Ooh, a little cutback there. And health for the Lions, honestly, is a big factor, too, in how good they will be. As speaking of health, Netane Muti is hurt again. But at least they finally realized, hey, our playoff window is gone. We've got to, just, go ahead, slam it shut, and then try and reopen it with something else. And they didn't try to force anything this year. They could have taken a quarterback, but they decided, you know what? Let's build the offensive line first. I honestly think that's the way to do it. You see the Bengals don't have an offensive line, still don't. And in Joe Burrow's rookie season, he's dislocated his hip. Great. In Joe Burrow's rookie season, he tears his ACL and his MCL, and he's still getting hit. I think he got sacked 5 times in week 1 this year. And instead of using their first round pick on the guy that the Lions took, Penei Sewell, they took Burrow's college receiver, Jamar Chase. So the Lions were not stupid and picked up the receiver picked up the offensive lineman the Bengals should have taken. Fumbled again. Dog, you have got to. We'll kick the field goal here. 14-13. Or just, I didn't think there was anybody open on that play that I liked. As you look at some of these rebuilding teams and you really wonder what they're doing. Like the Jets, I think, are making relatively good choices, other than they stuck with what's his face for too long. Whoever their head coach was, Adam Gase. They stuck with him for way too freaking long. That man is a terrible head coach. And Dante Pettis is like, I don't even. He's apparently the new Megatron here in Detroit. I guess they don't need to draft a receiver. They have their number one receiver on the roster. Okay. Well, at least it's still a one-score game. So 77-yard touchdown for Dante Pettis. I made a commitment to stopping the run. We did, and now they're able to pass on us. Cohen gets it up to the 28. But yeah, I wonder about teams like the Jaguars. It's like they draft corners every like 4 years, and then they want to trade them right away. I get like the Jalen Ramsey thing. That was more him than it was them. He didn't want to be there after he signed that contract, which as the Jaguars, you probably should have figured out whether or not he actually wanted to be there when you signed him. But I think that I got a late hit out of that. A legal man downfield. My backup left guard. Okay. We don't need to panic and just start throwing it deep. Like I said, it's still a one-score game. We can take short gains, like Demir Bird on the drive. But yeah, they draft these corners and then they want to trade them. They drafted C.J. Henderson last year, and then they said, "Oh yeah, he's available for trade." I don't know if that was like making a point to him or what, but like, and it's not like he was a top 10 pick. That's why it's an issue. I'm guessing the Vikings cutting Gladney. I'm guessing there was something else at play besides just him not being good. Some off the fields and everybody's doing cartwheels. Gosh, I didn't know I had a team full of gymnasts. And I'm not saying they didn't need C.J. Henderson when they drafted him. They definitely did. They needed a corner. But don't trade him after one season. And then taking Trevor Lawrence obviously was the play. They managed to be worse than the Jets. Oh, that 96 speed, blazing around the edge, touchdown, Marquise Goodwin, and I do believe that counts as a passing touchdown for Justin Fields. And now we need to get the 2-point conversion. I had guys open. That's fine. We've got 6 minutes left. But then with their second first-round pick, they took Travis Etienne for some reason. I know that like James Robinson was part of the previous, the previous organization, but he still had a really good season. It just baffled me. There's other things that team could have used. There were good offensive linemen still sitting there at that point, I'm pretty sure. And yes, we have switch defenses here. I think it's necessary. As Khalil Mack continues to not get home, he really is committed to this whole retirement thing. Our newest addition has a sack. Okay, no, that wasn't a catch. Okay, 5 minutes left and we get the ball back. Running the ball is definitely still on the table. As we only need 3 and we'll take a lead. You know, what are some other rebuilding teams that don't really have a direction? I don't know. Really know what the Falcons are doing. Like, do they want to rebuild or not? As they traded away Julio Jones, which to me shows rebuild, but they also didn't draft a quarterback, and instead drafted Kyle Pitts. Which is like a we want to compete now type move. We got the throw off, but I don't think we picked up anything. No, we did not. And I'm really not seeing plays that I like. Let's run this. Maybe Marquise Goodwin will get open. Oh! Darnell Mooney, money with 2 O's, is money. 59 yards in the air. And Marquise Goodwin snags it. And we will take the lead. 26-21. Okay, I have the lead now. We will go back to a normal defense. Not the really good one. And the pressure's going to be on my defense to, go out and get something done. Oh, the Dolphins are a weird team, too. Like, they stock up on all these draft picks, which is fine. That's, it's the way to do it. The Browns did it, and they're finally, a competitor. Azeez Ojulari with his second sack. And I do believe those are the first 2 of his career. Yes, they are. Eat your heart out, Khalil Mack. Akeem Hicks put some pressure on Jared Goff, who's having a fantastic game. But yeah, they get all these draft picks. They take Tua, who was the quarterback they wanted from the very beginning anyway, even though they could, the whole tank for Tua thing. And they ended up not being really bad enough to take him at 1, which is probably for the best, because if they would have taken him at 1, that would have been really stupid. Well, they think they can stop us. They have all their timeouts, but I can run the ball pretty effectively. And now they're saying, oh, yeah, we'd trade Tua, or, Tua may not actually be the guy, so let's go see if we can get Deshaun Watson. And, I'm not a Tua fan. David Montgomery. Just call it. Oh, he's tripped. But he has 121 yards on the day. This game should not have been as close as it was. The Lions aren't good. I know they were 2-1, but we kind of need a touchdown because if we get a field goal, they can still tie it up. And there's the touchdown. Justin Fields to Cole Kmet. And just 3 touchdowns on the day for Justin Fields. Actually, that might be 4. And didn't chew up a bunch of clock, but that's going to make it really hard for them to pull this one out. They'd have to score super quick here and then recover an onside kick. And by super quick, I mean use like a minute and not use any timeouts. And this is Jared Goff, not Matt Stafford. They had Matt Stafford and their old receiving core. I would say, okay, it's possible. And that's the crazy thing, too, about the Lions. Like, last year they had Matt Stafford, Kenny Golladay, who is a top 20 receiver, I would say. A true number 1 corner, or a true number 1 receiver with him. You know, they had Marvin Jones, who is a very solid number 2, very reliable wide receiver. And Danny Amendola, who is getting a little old, but is still pretty solid in the slot. They had about 4 billion running backs. But they did have Kerryon Johnson, DeAndre Swift, and Adrian Peterson. The Lions just don't know how to draft running backs is the thing. Like, I think DeAndre Swift is good, but they don't use him ever. And they keep re-signing like good backup running backs to, come in and get snaps from him. Jamal Williams. They had Kerryon Johnson on the roster already when they drafted him. They signed Adrian Peterson that year. He almost managed not to get that going, sideways. We'll blitz him again. I'm not afraid. What's Jared Goff going to do? Not pick up the first down. That's what he's going to do. We are just running all kinds of blitzes out of this package. Now they have to take the timeout. Y'all have already taken too much time. Because you're not even across the 50 yet. Okay, now you are. Tyrell Williams. And they have to take their second timeout, which they might have taken anyway. If that was Dante Pettis, I would have been afraid. Oh, come on. There's the aforementioned Mr. Pettis. Akeem Hicks with the sack. It's a huge sack. That sounded very unnecessarily sexual. My apologies. So we still have oh my God, Dante Pettis nearly has 200 yards. He's lined up at tight end, which means he's got a linebacker on him. Goff sails it out of bounds. They have 14 seconds left. They can't come back. They would have to score right here and then get some miracle on the onside kick. I really thought they were going to run the ball there. And no. Ojemudia caught it, but he was out of bounds apparently. And if you missed the stat count at the end of last episode, Eddie Jackson. Ball game, kids. So, the second week in a row, Justin Fields can come out, take a knee, and end the game. But that is interception number 10 for the season. So I am pretty positive we are leading the league as a unit in interceptions. 33-21 win over the Lions. Shouldn't have been so close, but it was. Is that perfect? I think that is perfect. All right, so yeah, Justin Fields definitely had his best day. 158.3 passer rating, I believe, is perfect. 15 to 16, 285 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. 15 carries, 123 yards, no touchdowns for David Montgomery. He averaged 8 yards a carry. 6 for 59 for Justin Fields. He fumbled 3 times. He's got to quit that. Receiving, Cole Kmet, 3 for 51 and a touchdown. 3 for 76 for Robinson. He rebounded in a big way. 3 for 101 for Mooney, and 3 for 37 for Marquise Goodwin and a touchdown. That touchdown, of course, came on that jet pass blocking. Tevin Jenkins gave up 2 more sacks. Not all of it is his fault. I will admit that. I roll out to the right. That is the direction I roll out, and so when that happens, Jenkins' block is naturally going to, whenever it falls apart, he's going to give up more sacks. But look, his pass protector stat is 55. He is a 71 overall player with star development, and his pass protector stat is 55. That is terrible. I may have to think about doing some switching. He's 6'6" though. Also, I don't know why Madden has him listed as going to Oklahoma. He did not go to Oklahoma. He went to Oklahoma State. Because tackles naturally give up more. Robert Quinn comes back next week. Muti is out for 4 weeks. I think I'm going to give Ojulari the start anyway. And we have a breakout player for the next week. That is quite exciting. I'm trying to think of who it might be. Maybe Darnell Mooney? I don't know. But it is week 5, so we can re-sign a couple of the guys that we are interested in bringing back, like James Daniels, who is coming back on a very, very reasonable deal. 5 years, $28.4 million, hopefully. Yep. Cool. Oh, Bilal Nichols doesn't want to re-sign until week 6. That's fine. And he will also get a very reasonable deal. But what I was going to say about Tevin Jenkins is it might be beneficial to move him over to guard. The problem with that, or there's not really a problem with that, I guess. No reason why he couldn't. I don't think height matters a whole lot for offensive linemen in this game. But, no, I don't know. There's really not a problem with it. It's just that. Okay. I would have to find. I'd have to find 2 tackles. Unless someone out there can play. Unless I manage to find, I can move over one of my guards. Take him off. Okay, these 2 guys are actually scheme fits. Nope. I think I have enough to. He can stay on. Okay, so we've got one more left in to scout. We'll probably scout the second rounder too. Right ends. Was this guy? Nope. It's not a good. This is not a good pass rusher class, and That's part of what concerns me about trading away Khalil Mack. Is I'm not going to be able to replace it. Like, none of these guys are early first rounders, unless this guy that we don't have scouted is, and that is concerning. Even these outside linebackers, none of them are. So it's kind of one of those things. What do we do if we don't? But in the next episode, we will take on the Raiders. They are 2-2, 80 overall offense, 77 defense, 78 overall. So right around where we're at. I guess that does average out to a 78. I'm not real. I would think mine would average out to an 80, not a 79. But your top player is Darren Waller. He is going to be very scary. I don't really want to deal with him, but I guess we're gonna have to. So Justin Fields now, his numbers are looking a lot better here of late. That last game helped a lot. 698 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. David Montgomery, 419, 2 touchdowns, 348, and a touchdown for Fields. Tariq Cohen also has a rushing touchdown. Receiving, Allen Robinson, 195, 3 touchdowns, 168 and 1 for Mooney, 158 and 2 for Kmet. And then our other receivers are just kind of here. Blocking, Tevin Jenkins has given up 10 sacks. Jason Peters has given up 2. No one else has given up any. That's an issue. Danny Trevathan is now leading my team in tackles. Interesting. Khalil Mack, 6 tackles for loss. Roquan Smith with 4. 5.5 sacks for Khalil Mack. Azeez Ojulari is now second on the team in sacks after one game. Love to see it. Robert Quinn only has half a sack, but he hasn't been. But interceptions, Tayshaun Gibson has 2, Eddie Jackson has 2, Jalen Johnson 2, Gladney 2, Ojemudia 1, and Artie Burns with 1. So that's nice. But yeah, like I said, in the next episode, we'll take on the Raiders. We will check in on who this breakout player is, and yeah, we'll go from there. So if you guys enjoyed, please remember to leave a like. If you're enjoying the series, keep leaving a like on it. I'll keep putting them out. And other than that, guys, yeah, have a good rest of your day. And this is Casual Flacker saying bye-bye.